Exodus 12:8, and they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs shall they eat it. Hear me today. The only way you're going to be able to consume the bitterness of life is if you also consume the Lamb. Are you ready? Let me remind you of what John shouted when he saw Jesus coming. Behold, the Lamb of God, which takes away the sin of the world. You want to know what the root meaning of that word sin in the original language was before it was translated? You could have literally read that verse like this. Behold, the Lamb of God, which takes away the offense of the world. And the only way you're going to be able to deal with all the bitterness and all the offenses and all the hurts and all the wounds of life is if you also consume the Lamb. The only way you're going to be able to deal with all of the wounds is if you also partake of the Lamb. Because listen, the taste of the Lamb will counteract the bitterness, and the flavor of the Lamb will be stronger than the hurt, and the goodness of the Lamb will be stronger than your worst day in life. So now let me preach it in here today. Taste and see that the Lord is good. Come on, taste and see that the Lord, I wish somebody would hear me right now. Taste and see that the Lord. Come on. Once you partake of Him, you're going to find out the goodness of God is stronger. The goodness of the Lamb is more powerful. The goodness of the Lamb is appealing. The goodness of the Lamb, it goes further. The goodness of the Lamb is everlasting. The goodness of the Lamb is following me. The goodness of the Lamb takes up the slack. The goodness of the Lamb fills the hungry soul. But you've got to taste and see for yourself. Maybe you came here today because you thought we have good programs, and we do. Maybe you came here today because you thought we have good worship, and it is. Maybe you came in here today because you thought it was a nice facility, and it is. But before we introduce you to any of that, let us introduce you to the Lamb. I hope before we ever sing another song, you can testify, I feel Jesus in here. I hope before we ever get another light, you can testify, I feel Jesus in here. I hope before we ever do anything new, we can testify to the fact we feel Jesus.